If you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. John Lewis was born in Troy, Alabama on February 21st, 1940, the third son of Willie May and Eddie Lewis. His parents were sharecroppers. In 1957, John Lewis left Alabama to attend the American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, Tennessee. While a student, he was invited to attend nonviolence workshops held in the basement of Clark Memorial United Methodist Church by Reverend James Lawson and Reverend Kelly Miller Smith. There, he and many of his fellow students became dedicated adherents to the discipline and philosophy of nonviolence. Lewis was committed to the civil rights movement and went on to participate in the Freedom Rides of 1961. Freedom Riders challenged the segregated facilities they encountered in interstate bus terminals in the South, which had been deemed illegal by the Supreme Court. It was dangerous work that resulted in arrests and beatings for many involved, including Lewis. In 1963, Lewis became chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. The same year, as one of the Big Six leaders of the Civil Rights Movement, he helped plan the March on Washington. Lewis, the youngest speaker at the event, had to alter his speech in order to please other organizers, but still delivered a powerful oration that declared, "We all recognize the fact that if any radical social, political, and economic changes are to take place in our society, the people, the masses, must bring them out." After the March on Washington in 1964, the Civil Rights Act became law. However, this did not make it easier for African Americans to vote in the South. To bring attention to this struggle, Lewis and Hosea Williams led a march from Selma, Alabama on March 7, 1965. After crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the marchers were attacked by state troopers. Bloody Sunday, as the day was labeled, sped up the passage of the 1965's Voting Rights Act. After leaving SNCC in 1966, Lewis worked with community organizations and was named Community Affairs Director for the National Consumer Co-op Bank in Atlanta. In 1981, Lewis was elected to the Atlanta City Council. In 1986, after 9 years as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, Wick Fowler gave up his seat to make a successful run for the U.S. Senate. Lewis decided to run for the 5th District for the second time, and in the November general election, Lewis defeated Republican Portia Scott 75% to 25%. John Lewis has been re-elected 14 times. He is a member of the Democratic Party leadership in the U.S. House of Representatives and has served as the Chief Duty Whip since 1991 and Senior Chief Duty Whip since 2003. John Lewis has also received many honorary awards and medals, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom.